even more because people didn't expect it out of me, because when you look at me, you don't think spoken word, and I'm sure of that. But what triggered it was I had an English teacher, and she said, Harold, you have to figure out your style and what is your purpose. And I was like, wow, my purpose? So my purpose is to create a visual for somebody that's listening, but I like to tell stories.
Awesome.
So that's been my thing. So the first one, since I realized that I have to do more than one, the first one is something that I always like to tell to the guys. And I will just leave it at that. I remember it vividly. Georgia, early June, it was a Saturday afternoon. I was coming out of Cumberland Mall, sipping my tea, minding my business. And I looked across the parking lot and I saw this God is fine as all outdoors. God is my business. See, generally, I practice a certain level of resistance, but my libido has insisted. But yet I'm only seeing her from a distance, and just her walk has the ability to stop traffic. And it was at that moment I realized I had to have it bull matador. I was prepared to attack it. So I began to pick up my pace, because I guess you could say I'm on the chase, but I don't want to close in too fast because I don't want to violate her space. She must have felt me approaching, and she turned around and said with a frown, "What the hell you want?" In the midst of a growing crowd. Now, me embarrassed, remaining calm, I said, "Excuse me, sweetheart. There's no need to be alarmed. I'm not here to cause you any harm. All I wanted was an introduction. My deepest apologies for the interruption." So she gave me the once-over and said, "Baby, it's okay. These men today, I guess they've forgotten how to approach a lady." So I found myself being mesmerized in her eyes what would appear to be green, and they were. About 5'10", size 16, all hips, beautiful lips, great future behind her. I think she had a robe. Oh, I like that. But never mind all that. For my taste, the package was complete. It would have been a travesty had I at least come over here and speak. But at that moment on her finger, she had a ring. But remember, I only came for an introduction, so that really didn't mean a thing. So she told me her name was Savannah. And she's originally from Atlanta, and her husband's in the military, and they recently moved back here from Alabama. She tells me about how she feels stressed and lonely, and even when she's around him, she feels alone. He's so controlling, he just wants her at home, but in the streets is where he roams. Now, it's obvious to me that this woman is under enormous amounts of stress. In a consoling motion, her shoulder I began to caress. So we're talking and laughing in the parking lot as if we've known each other for years, and she felt enough for me, and she confided in me that she was contemplating suicide right before I appeared. Now, under these circumstances, I was like, So in the direction of her car, we continued walking. I said, you know what, I'm going to give you my number anyway, just in case you want to talk. So after 3 weeks of intimate and interesting conversation, come to find out her husband is away on vacation, and she offers me the invitation to visit the island of temptation. Now, 3 weeks ago, there would have been no contemplation, but now coming to my senses, I said, that is a move I just cannot make. She said, I grilled some salmon and asparagus. Can I bring you a plate? I said, my favorite fish? Oh, well, what the hell? It's after 12, and I haven't eaten. I said, I can't even wait. My stomach is in my back. I'm going to give you 45 minutes. And you know what? I am not ashamed to admit it. I had to go and get to know myself right quick to be better equipped to resist it. So I'm certain she arrived at my door wearing nothing but a red trench coat in June, and almost choked. I'm like, never mind that plate. What's needed now is prayer and hope. Because what if her husband is not in town and she was followed, and he's strapped with gats and tips that's hollow? Now, I like her, but I love me, and that is an outcome that was too difficult for me to swallow. should I let her in? Yeah, so I let her in, and she kisses me on my cheek, thanking me for letting her come over. And effortlessly, that trench coat falls off her shoulder, leaving nothing to the imagination. Now, me downplaying the situation, I'm like, so is he away for business or recreation? So she rubbed it over my shoulder, and I felt an instant blood rush go straight to my leg. A plethora of positions I can imagine if this woman enters into my bed. She started kissing on my neck, exposing her breasts, and I was like, what's next? Well, then I had that moment, and tapped on the shoulder, and I said, sweetheart, I can't do this. That is not the way I was raised. I can assure you, if we do this, we will not live to see the half of our days. Disappointed, she looks at me and agrees. She says, you are a man that I will never forget. You was there for me in my time of need. I needed aid. Took me away from that feeling of neglect, if not temporarily. I was thinking because I was being a perfect gentleman and just showing her nothing but respect. But she said to me, as she grabbed her coat, she was like, I can assure you, there's a possibility, had you had sex with me, that would have been a decision you would soon regret. And as she was walking out the door, and I'm looking perplexed, and she looked at me and said, I'm dying of AIDS, and my husband doesn't even know it yet.